we're back.
Welcome to the Cavalry. This is round 2. So if you're listening to this, it's been a week since you last heard from us. Just to pull behind the curtain? No,
Pull back.
Pull back the curtain.
Pull out behind the curtain.
Pull out in the curtain. Pull out on the curtain.
To pull out and shoot it all over the curtain.
That's what I was trying to say.
That's what you're.
And I can never remember the phrase.
Yeah.
We're recording back to back because Johnny has to go to Pearl Jam by himself, and I have to go sell out on a cruise ship, sell my soul and work on a cruise ship. Which, you know what that means though?
What?
I act like it's all bad, but you know what it means. I'm going on the cruise ship.
Party time? I don't know.
Oh yeah, party time. The little guy named Link.
Oh,
Kingdom
yes.
of Hyrule.
Oh, that's right. I'm very.
Finally,
I'm
it's been
surprised
an
you haven't
hour.
seen it yet.
An hour and 12 minutes I've been talking to you, and I have not seen you light up like that until just now.
Well, I guess we should get caught up. I don't know if people hate this or love it, but I've got 2 of the sages
Beasts.
or phenomenon.
Yeah.
And you said you've got them all. Do you have the 5th one? Did you conquer the 5th one? My daughter Edie has.
I don't even know about the 5th one.
4. There's 4 phenomena. She said there's a hidden one. After you beat the 4th, a 5th one gets revealed, or you have to find it. I don't know if they looked it up.
I have no idea what she's talking about. I haven't done the I haven't gone to the castle in fear of like starting something that I don't want to finish. You know what I mean? Like I'm delaying the story as long as I can because I feel like I'll lose all my motivation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you gotta get. This will make it interesting to people, but like any foreplay you want to do, you have to do before you blow your load. Because otherwise you will immediately
the filthy beginning.
You'll immediately lose interest in like nibbling on someone's ear if you just so you have to get all that stuff. Delayed gratification is the name of the game. So
what are you doing? Just like getting more food, strengthening your armor, weapons,
giving some moron an apple so they can go cross a river. I mean, just wasting my life.
Just doing all the side quests.
Yeah, doing all the side quests. So yeah, getting the arm, finding the fairies. They make it a little harder to find like the armor fairies than last time, but yeah, stuff like that. And then now apparently finding this thing your daughter's talking about.
Yeah. Do you like did I ask you this, if you like this one better than Breath of the Wild?
Oh, I like it way better.
Okay.
But the thing is I think I'm spending more time on it.
Yeah.
Because this has been multiple, you know what I mean? Last time I think I played it for those 2 weeks and that was it.
Yeah.
And this time I'm like, it is weird too. Like, you know, most people, you either play video games or you don't, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people there are like us where like this is it.
It's the only or nothing.
It's the only video game. Like, and then when this is gone, I won't play again for a few years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it kind of warps your brain. It makes you think like there's 2 worlds. There's the real world,
and then there's Hyrule.
Yeah. It's almost healthier to play a bunch of different video games and you don't get so like sucked into the matrix or whatever. But yeah, that's the one thing I can look forward to though, is getting to play that a little bit. Otherwise, it's just my lawn, mowing the lawn. I've been like changing my. I'm so obsessed with my grass in the back because you know we put it in this summer.
Yeah.
I've been like reading about it, and I'm like cutting it at different
heights.
No, I'm keeping it pretty long. I think you're supposed to keep it tall in the summer and then shorter in the fall. Is what I was reading, or in the spring. Can't remember.
That makes sense.
But different like angles, like you cut it at from different directions, so you don't always cut it on the same pattern. Yeah, because then the grass like learns to grow a certain way or something, so you got to always keep it guessing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've got the riding mower, and did I tell you this that like Edie and Duncan both were like, "Oh, can we ride it? Can we do it?" And so I'd like leave squares in the middle, like giant squares in the middle, and be like, "Okay, you can do that because there's no trees, no bushes. They're not going to run into anything."
Yeah.
I had to like go get I had to go get 25-pound dumbbells, put them on the seat because there's like safety mechanisms. Like it doesn't, they don't weigh enough to
Right.
drive it. It won't register and won't let them. So I like added a dumbbell, didn't work. So I had to add another dumbbell and then it worked. But then when Duncan would try to reach the pedal, his butt would come off. So his body weight would leave. So he's just got to pile shit on the seat in order for him to do it. And then when Edie does it, it's it's terrible. Like you think it's easy to just kind of go in a circle and get smaller as you go in, but man, do they miss a lot of patches. So I just got to do it afterwards anyway.
I like that you're like, the safety feature is so hard to get around. Have my small children mow my lawn for me.
Well, where there's
This
a will,
stupid
there's a way.
thing.
Yeah, just piling furniture behind him on the seat.
Riding lawnmowers does make mowing the lawn seem fun. But you think
Does
no, it gets old
well,
quick.
just if you, I mean, yeah, if you have a square, but like we keep adding shrubs and trees and obstacles, and it's like every time I mow, I have to get the riding mower to do the bulk, do all the border, all the trees with the push mower, and then get the string trimmer, for the bottom of the
Yeah,
fence along the way. So it's like, I don't know.
kill me.
It doesn't, yeah. It's not, it's nice. I love it. It
Whatever.
was a great gift. It's probably the biggest, most expensive gift I've ever gotten.
Wait, who gave you a riding lawnmower?
Aaron.
Oh,
And the
okay.
thing, like,
I
and
mean,
it,
she's
and
kind
it's,
of benefiting from that too,
oh,
though.
yes. But
Yeah.
it's a electric. That's the thing. Like, I didn't even know those existed. A
Oh,
riding electric. So it's like,
uh,
sweet.
who are the people? Okay, this is great because, all right, electric, good for the environment, climate
Yep.
change, whatever.
You don't have to deal with oil changes.
But this is the thing. Beyond who is pushing back and wanting the gas tools back? Like who wants to pull the stupid string and like prime the pump when it's not starting and like get the gas can and do all this shit? Who prefers that? That's what I don't understand. Like I get it with cars, people have some hesitancy because they're like, well, what if I want to drive to Alaska and then there's not a charger on the way? I get fine. But like
Sure.
with tools, it makes no sense to me that there's still people out there like begging for to keep the gas tools.
I guess I didn't realize that was the case. Who
I
are
see
these
them all the
people?
time. Every time I see a landscaping crew, they have the gas leaf blowers, they have the
Uh-huh.
gas you call them string trimmers, weed whackers, whatever,
Yeah.
and the gas mowers. And I'm like, is it because it's just what you know and you're like
Right.
familiar with it? But man, electric, it is so much easier. You just push a button, you can't screw it up. It's
I
like on
know.
or off, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, you're not dealing with the mess. You don't have to go, like with the
Oh my
gas, I'd be like,
God.
oh, this gas is bad. It's been in the garage for 6 months.
Right, right.
Gonna ruin it.
That was like half the reason why I think I hated mowing the lawn as a kid is because it wasn't like once you got it started, it's like a gratifying chore. It's like you can see it's bad and then you mow it and it looks clean and good and it makes you feel whatever. But it was always like you said, like we had this spray, like it would never start. So we had the starter spray. You had to spray the
Yeah.
thing on and like,
Yeah.
it's basically like accelerant. So you could like be starting an explosion every time, and
Yeah.
oh, I hated it. Yeah. And it's the smell of the gas can all over you and the oil and the electric tools are the best. I find
I know.
this,
And if you have two of the same brand, like I have like 2 or 3 battery packs that like fit for all of them. So it's like
yeah,
there's always a charged battery. It's great.
you're so much smarter than me. I literally have four. So I use like, I got like this tiny little weak ass leaf blower, which I bought online, which I should have never bought because it's like too small to really do anything. But I use it for like when the leaves are like super dry or grass, I can blow a little bit of that around. So I
Well,
have that.
maybe that is one complaint is that there's more
That's what
power,
they would tell you. Is they're
but
more powerful. But like, how powerful do these leaf blowers have to be? Like, I see these guys, and they're like, you know, these leaves, they're blowing them to Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure they can make a truck electric now. They
yeah,
can't make a leaf blower.
yeah, they should be
You know what I'm
able to.
saying?
Yeah,
A Tesla could go 180 miles an hour, but they can't push a leaf around.
yeah, they can. I don't think that's the case. You
I
should
don't
take
think
that to
so.
the stage.
Yeah. Hey, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't do this other thing that I want to do.
Yeah,
The
gold,
point is,
baby.
the point is that I have that. I have a weed whacker. I have a lawnmower, and I guess it's just those three for like yard tools, and they're all different battery packs, all different
Oh, yeah.
brands. All there. It's just the dumbest shit I've ever done in my life.
Ah,
Yeah. So, but whatever.
no.
Yeah, man.
How did we get on this topic?
How
Of
did we
gold?
start talking about this?
I don't know.
We went from Link to uh electric charging tools.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I got a question. Okay, quick shift, gear shift. Do you look at your shit every single time,
Oh,
or
almost
do you just
never.
what? Are you joking? Are you joking? Are you kidding? Oh my
Again,
god!
wait,
So many
the way you lit up twice now.
wasn't
Only
lit up.
twice. I mentioned Zelda, and then I've never looked at my shit, and I've never seen just like a Christmas tree. I was like, oh, light behind the eyes. No, you want to know
Oh,
why?
why? Well, I mean,
I mean, other
I get
than like,
it's
I don't.
shit.
It's weird that I have to defend myself on this, but sure, I will.
You don't have to defend. It's interesting.
I flesh as I go. I remember when I was like really young, my friend Keith Roundtree and
Yeah.
being at his mom's apartment, and they had, they were in an apartment, just 2 bedrooms or something. So she didn't want him stinking up the bathroom. So she would always yell like, "Flush as you go, flush as you go." And so it's like literally, then it became like a game to me. I was like, because I've always had roommates, It's like I
Yeah.
don't want to smell up the bathroom, and so I was like, how little time in the world could my shit exist? Like literally,
Before it gets
as it leaves my body, I'm trying to hit the flusher at the same time. So just a nice clean. It was like never
yeah.
there. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you're like a close up magician. I'm just always working on my craft, and bam.
So
And
do
then
you
and then I wipe, and then I so in my way it's 2 flushes, so it's not as environmentally friendly. But a lot of
right
these sickos are doing like 6 or 7 flushes anyway just to get the damn thing down. So I figure it's not that bad.
get the damn thing down? Damn thing won't go down.
But I think that's true. Like it's also like you're more likely to clog a toilet if you sit there and wait and throw a bunch of toilet paper in there too, and now you got this big thing, you could clog it. If I feel like if I keep it like boom, don't let it like settle, just let it get it right through there, then I have way less chance of clogging the toilet.
But what if you're at a party
And
and
you want to
you're
text it to a friend?
no, you're at a party and you're pooping and you
Yeah.
flush as you go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you're at a party because it's a inconvenient place to be and you're not familiar with the plumbing and you just luck of the draw, you clog the toilet with your shit. You're telling me in your scenario, you don't even know until your fucking ball bag feels water.
No.
No, why? No. Why is that
Well,
ridiculous?
it's ridiculous because you know, when you can know by the sound. If you flush a toilet and
Yeah.
if things go to plan, you hear like a nice,
Oh yeah,
refreshing, like
you feel you hear the water hit the hole and
yeah.
go down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But when
Sure.
you don't hear that and you just hear like dripping or like, filling of water,
Yeah.
then you know right away before it touches your ball. I'm not sitting there like an idiot whistling Dixie waiting for the water to touch my ball bag.
Okay. Well, excuse me. At no point did I say you were
So
whistling Dixie.
I'm not some moron.
Have you ever had that happen?
Clog a toilet at a party?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's never like the movies where here's what nobody tells you. It's not it's not the until here's what no one's got the fucking balls to say except for right here on this
we'll
show.
say it on the cavalry.
No one else will say this, but I'll say it. No, it's like in the movies, what would happen is you'd flush, clog, water coming up, more water starts to overflow. You're flooding, you're sticking things down the toilet. It's making it worse. Your shoe gets in there somehow. Next thing you know, the whole house is flooded with shit water, right? That's not usually what happens. In my experience, the water, it's like the toilet knows, like it fills up and it stops. And then like
you don't flush it again.
Well, then it'll start like slowly receding. Like it'll like get to the lip and somehow it like magically knows not to go over. And then it like slowly starts going down because I think just a little bit of water can get through. It's not clogged to the point that it's like an airtight seal down there. Sure. So it's just like slowly going through. And then you're thinking, okay, well, I could just leave. I mean, it's not an emergency. If there's no plunger, if there's a plunger, you get in there and you try to do something.
Sure.
But if there's no plunger, then you go, well, I could just leave, but if someone's waiting for this bathroom, and then I gotta say something.
I need a new circle of friends. Yeah.
Right. If no one's waiting for the bathroom, I could say nothing, and then everyone would just go, oh shit, their toilet's clogged, and no one will ever know who did it. But what I usually do is I let it go down to a reasonable level, and then I try flushing it again. Because I'm like, well, it knows not together. And usually by like 2 or 3 of those, I get it down.
Huh. Okay.
That's actually what happens when you clog a toilet, in my experience. Have you ever had it actually go over the lip and like?
You know what I've had happen is it'll stop before it goes over, and I'll get the plunger, but then the mass of the plunger into the water displaces, and that pushes it over. And it's like, it's not a ton. It's not gonna, it's not like in the movies, but it's like, all right,
and that's not good water.
Wipe up the floor.
It's
not good water.
You're an eager beaver. Eager beaver. You gotta let the water go down a little bit before you get the plunger in there.
Yeah, that's my problem. I guess I never realized it goes down, but I'm never gonna flush it a second.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't flush it a second time at that point.
Yeah, but some people do. That's what they do in the movies, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's like that Ben Stiller shit. That's the thing. Like, do you like that? Like we were talking about comedies last week. Code.
I do like that movie. You're talking about Along Came Polly with Jennifer Aniston.
Well, just all of those are the same to me. Like in the most famous one is Something About Mary, but all those like ones where that's not Ben Stiller, I guess. Something About Mary. Or no, it is Ben Stiller.
Yeah, it is. He clogs the toilet in that?
No, I'm just saying like I'm not literally talking about
you like Meet the Parents, just this worse.
Meet the Parents is just like, my shoe's untied, and then now the house is burning down, and let me try and like piss on it for some reason, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
I can't do it. Like, it's like I know it's funny and everyone's having a good time, but I get so much secondhand embarrassment, anxiety, and I'm just like, why would you do that? Why? You know what I mean? Why? Like he painted like in that movie, he paints the cat different. I'm like, they're gonna find out. This is just a horrible idea. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. It's hard to
articulate. Makes me so um I don't know what, awkward, I guess. It's just very awkward, and
It
so I
just
hate
makes
it.
you uncomfortable or feel uncomfortable for
I
him.
like the cocky idiots. I think that's what I like. Like I like the big morons who don't get embarrassed. But it's funny because they're walking around like they know everything and they're stupid, and then like that's more like the Will
Like
Ferrell thing,
what? Like
right?
what's the example?
Like Talladega Nights, or
Yeah.
or like it's like all those Will Ferrell characters, I guess, or like the Bill Murray characters or whatever. Like, what about Bob? It's like these
Yeah.
guys who they're just so oblivious.
Yeah.
It's not embarrassing for them
Yeah.
because they're walking around. They think it's great. They think they're doing good.
Like Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing awkward about Dumb and Dumber because they're so like they're unaware of the prop. But Ben Stiller's always like, his characters are so like neurotic where they're just always aware of the
Yeah.
horrible things going on, and it's like awful for me.
Did you see the sequel, Dumb and Dumber 2?
I don't know if I ever did. That's the one that came out like 30 years later or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that's one of those movies where it's like it didn't have a chance at being like, a big success. It's just like it's a fun movie, but it actually is really hilarious. And I have rewatched it many times. So our listeners know we were talking about Teen Wolf last week.
Add it to the Beaner
Recently,
Criterion
Dumb
collection.
and Dumber 2.
Somehow Dumb and Dumber didn't make
Very
the cut,
funny.
but Dumb and Dumber
No,
2
Dumb
was
and
on
Of
there.
course, Dumb and Dumber did. Yes, of course it did. But Dumb and Dumber 2 I bring up because it's so dismissible. Like, oh, that movie was shit. It's only shit compared to the original, but it's actually funnier than most, than a lot of original comedies.
Yeah, well, there you go. Dumb and Dumber
great.
2. Check it out, everybody.
Check it out. From Johnny's Picks.
Johnny's Picks.
Teen Wolf, Dumb and Dumber 2, and The Ladies' Man. Criterion collection of Johnny Beaner.
And what if that? You know what you should do? This is what you should do.
What?
You should get in a time machine, go back 20 years, and create those. Remember those like little box sets of like 3 DVDs they'd sell, but they weren't in any way relate. You know what I mean? They'd be in like the bins at grocery stores.
Like
and
at
it was
Walmart?
just, yeah, or wherever. But then they were like 3 movies that didn't necessarily, they weren't like sequels of each other or a trilogy. Right. They were just 3 random movies that somebody was like, if you like this fucking shit, you'll probably like these two too. And they slapped them all together, and they were like $15 instead of like whatever they'd be, $24 or whatever.
Is it they're packaged together on one disc? It has
and
the
they're
3
all
movies,
no, they're all
package all 3 together.
Yeah, there were 3 different DVDs, but they were like saran wrapped together.
Yeah,
you don't remember this?
No, I do. There's different versions. I mean, I'm always thinking of like, oh, here's 3 Keanu Reeves movies where they do that, or
Yeah, I guess they did that too. But what I'm saying is, you should do your own.
I make the selection.
3 packs.
But I'm saying, what's drawing you to think of this idea? Just because
I like those 3 movies. I like.
Oh, you do.
I like you putting together Teen Wolf, Dumb and Dumber 2, and
Ladies' Man.
And Ladies' Man. That would be an amazing 3-pack to find at a grocery store.
Yeah, you're telling me.
You seem like someone who might buy a DVD impulsively somewhere. Have you ever done that?
Many. I have many a time.
What was the last DVD you bought? As someone who's tried to sell DVDs, let me ask you, what was the last DVD that you bought?
That's such a great question. It was probably a Marvel or the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
See, that's not that long. I mean, that's
no, it's not too long ago.
What kind of store would you be in where you would even?
But I'll only buy it if it comes with the digital copy, so I don't actually have to use the DVD itself.
But wait, how do you get the digital? I don't understand that.
Oh, if you buy a Blu-ray,
put in like a code.
They always come with a code, and you just get it on iTunes because you bought the disc.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And like, where does that live? That lives in like your Apple account or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm like handcuffed to Apple. I could never jump ship.
See, I can't. I don't think I've ever bought anything on iTunes.
I have. I just recently, you know what? I'll tell you what. I just bought a bunch because they have like these random sales. Look at this. I'll tell you right now. Recently purchased. I bought Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox,
Yeah.
Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch movie. A very Brady
That's gonna be the
movie.
best 3-pack yet.
And then A Million Ways to Die in the West, that Seth MacFarlane movie.
I was on the edge of my seat, and that was a great. That's your 3-pack.
Well, I bought 4 movies, but the
Oh.
other one is Spider-Man Across the, and that one was like, 15 or 20 bucks.
Okay, but you know what my problem is? Is like, okay, so you spent how much do they charge you for a movie to buy?
I mean, the Spider-Man, if it's like a modern one like that, that was like 19. Usually I don't buy those, but Aaron was at a concert and I was like, well, this will be fun to watch with the kids. But usually I won't buy a movie that's more than 15. But those other ones were all $4.99. And it cost $3.99 to rent. So I'm like,
But aren't all of those on some sort of like streaming?
no, I'll check. Before I'll buy a movie, I'll check and make sure.
Okay.
They've probably been on HBO, but some of those movies fluctuate. Like they'll come and they'll go.
I know. You know what's funny? I was like, HBO, or what used to be HBO, now it's Max.
And you have to say it like that, Max.
Yeah, Max. So
Yeah.
sick of companies like Twitter is now X.
That's
HBO's Max. Quit changing the goddamn names. How about that? Oh, we're ones to talk. But I was about to rail against that. No wonder we wanted to change our
name. By the way, we will be no guests next week.
I don't know about that. No wonder we were like thinking, or I was thinking so stupidly. I was like, oh, you know what'll really make us take off is if we change our name. And it's like, because all these billionaires, that's their only idea. They come into some company and they're like, hey guys, I got a plan. Let's just make it a little worse and change the name.
Yeah, we'll shake it up with a name change.
How about that? And then he came up with X. I mean, is there any lazier? Like, I could almost be on board because it'd be like, oh yeah, Twitter, I don't really get it. Like tweet.
Yeah.
You're like a little bird chatting, I guess, chirping or something.
That's like part of the zeitgeist now. You're fucking
I know.
with...
It's the same thing with HBO. Like, I'm never gonna not say HBO. I'm always gonna have HBO in my head.
Right.
And I'm always gonna have Twitter in my head. And I'm sure we'll get to the point where you do like they just like shove it down your throat so much so you like know to say Max or X or Zig.
I don't know. X. Look at the icon, like the logo. Does it look like it's like has a crack in it? It looks like your phone screen is scratched. It's not like a clean logo. It's got the X, but it looks like there's a crack going across it, right?
But see, when I'm looking at it on my phone, it's still the bird.
Oh, and then you got to update.
I don't ever do the update.
There you go.
Just exposed myself. I don't know, man. I know what you're talking about because I've seen the logo, and you're right. It does look like it has a crack in it, and it also just looks like a fake website they would come up with in a movie.
Yeah.
Like when the writers, when they're not working very hard on this movie, and they're like, okay, we just need something that this guy, he works at some website, so we'll call it X.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Lame.
So wait, why did I say that? Oh, I was on Max, and like, so my daughter really likes like Roadrunner and the Coyote, and she loves Bugs Bunny, so they have all the Looney Tunes on there. And I've talked about this before, where like on HBO, whatever we're gonna call it, Max, they have all the Looney Tunes on there, but it's like very curated, so it's not any of the racist ones or like the really horrible ones, so you're like perfect, so you don't have to think about it. But then I go on there and just like no announcement, nothing, just get on there one day and they're all gone. And then they just stop paying for them. So you're like, well, what the fuck? So now I gotta go on to YouTube, and YouTube has them all, and you're like, well, that's cool, and YouTube's free, except for the fact you never know when like somebody's gonna be in blackface or they're gonna be like shooting an Indian in the head, and you're like, oh my god, And now I'm
Yeah.
a bad parent
Ah, yeah.
because of Max.
Yeah, we have I mean, maybe like because Edie would go on YouTube for a long time. Like I never was big into like I'll share videos with YouTube, but like I never thought of YouTube as like a thing
To
like
watch TV on.
Netflix or yeah, exactly.
Dude, I know. And my
But apparently
mother-in-law
it is.
she's like, she has all this cable, but and she just, when she was like staying with us, it was like everything was YouTube. She always, that was like her first instinct. Just go to YouTube, it'll be on there. And they usually have like, they have like tons of just full length movies on there, and even if they don't own the rights to it, some Yahoo uploaded it anyway, and so it's on there for at
Yeah.
least a while, until they catch it. So it is kind of like they, if you can't find something on any of these streaming sites, it's probably on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also the Looney Tunes they put up there, not curated. And there's no warnings. It's not like Disney Plus where they're gonna warn you that they're gonna sing a racist song 20
Right.
minutes into this old 1940s cartoon.
Right. Heads up, parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a discussion with your daughter before you show her this.
I just got a text from my wife that said, FYI, Duncan crawled into bed and fell asleep. So I have nowhere to sleep now.
Oh wait, you can't go to bed now?
I'll just move him, but be a big pain in the butt.
Yeah.
He's gonna fuss and whine, make me rub his back. That's kind of nice, though. I should
You
take
should
advantage
enjoy
of those
that.
times.
No, Johnny. The fact that you aren't enjoying that, you're wasting this precious memory.
Yeah.
You wish, if you had a time machine, you would go back and you would give anything. When you're 80 and you're shitting your pants and about to die, you'd give anything to go back to when you could rub your child's back.
Did I tell you I've been doing that?
Well, I was just going to ask how it's been going.
Good. It's done that thing where it's like a new joke. It was
Yeah.
really good. I first did it, and now it's like, all right, it gets a laugh. It's a time filler, but it's not like a strong excited about it. It might fall off if I don't play with it.
Yeah. You have to have like real passion behind it or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, that's the
Or I gotta
worst.
or figure out a new angle or something. Yeah. But yeah. But yeah,
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I did a new bit. I was in Seattle last weekend, and I had 4 like full headlining sets, which is kind of nice, condensed time. And then so I try this new bit 4 times, and 3 of the times it went like fine, like you're talking about, like you could see something. And the fourth, or it was probably like the second time I did it, crushed. Like it just like
The second time you did it?
yeah, it came out
Yeah.
perfect. I was like, oh, I'll just go back and watch how I did it that time. And that was, of course, I didn't record that set, so I have no idea what I did. But there's like some magic
audio record.
to it. No, of course not.
Of course not. I gotta empty my freaking, what is it called? My voice recorder, because it's so full of just garbage, just old shows that I should have listened to right after the show, but I didn't, and I didn't delete them.
Well, like that was the thing, is it used to be you would record shows on your phone or just audio. I actually had one of those MP3 recorders. Did you ever have one of those?
Yeah, I still have one down here. Yeah.
And you're supposed to record every set and then go back and listen to it. And I would record every show, never listen.
Right.
Never. But then, like, I guess if something like this happened, you could go back and you could listen to the way you did it or something.
Yeah.
And go, oh, okay. And then write that. Or if you came up with something in the moment, you could write that down, whatever.
Yeah.
But now you're video recording everything. So you think, I mean, what is the point? I mean, like literally have this documented. Every show is like fucking so documented.
Yeah, every show's a special.
Ricard, dude. So I was at this in Seattle at Laughs, this club, and so there's probably a host. They don't pay openers there. It's kind of a. I
Oh,
mean, I don't know.
okay.
Maybe they're paying these guys a couple bucks, but they don't have like a feature kind of spot. It's just like some guest spots and a host. And so uh
Does the
there
host get
were
paid?
what's that?
Does the
I
host get
don't
paid?
I don't know. But
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. But they probably do. They might be paying all of them. I don't know what they're getting paid. I just know there's no feature. So there was
Okay.
a host, and there's like I think 3 guest spots, and then me.
Yeah.
And there were cameras everywhere. It was like it
Like a
was
movie
like
shoot.
Courtney Kardashian was going
Oh
on
God.
stage because there was just like everybody had a freaking setup. And here I was coming in late thinking like, oh, I'm gonna put my camera up, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna tape my shows like a good like the way you're supposed to do
Yeah.
it now. And there was like nowhere. I was like, I don't even know where I can put this thing. They took up all the room. It's like I was like, when you're done, can I take your spot? Because I kind of need a spot.
They're like not letting people in the room to sit down because
Yeah, like, oh no. I mean, I
they
got
got
it.
cameras.
And then you think about it, you see some of these people posting bits on Instagram and they have like 3 camera shoots. I mean,
Hmm.
they're cutting back to the audience
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's like they have a camera behind the comedian, like an
yeah,
audience shot of like
yeah.
when they're doing crowd work. It's like,
And I
what?
talked to somebody I was in Everett or something, and this guy was just there. He was a comic, and he was just filming the whole show because that's what he does professionally is he films these comedy specials and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's just this whole thing now. So when a comic like bigger name comic, they go anywhere. They go to Madison or they go to Austin or Denver or whatever ahead of time. They'll just send out a message to whatever the comedy board like who in town shoots, and they'll just throw whatever money at it. Like usually not that much compared to how much work it seems like it is. But then they get a bunch of cameras set up and they get, you're right, everything's a special now. And this
God, I wonder what they are paying.
I have no idea.
That's weird. But that's a perfect segue into my
Oh, good.
half-baked idea of a topic.
Okay.
Do you think like this whole like the Instagram reel taking over, like I don't know if I have a necessarily stance I want backup on, but it feels like it's taking away, it takes away the mystique of stand-up comedy, and it makes it seem like it's just so accessible to do to
Yes.
everybody, like, oh, like, but before it was like, oh, if you're not 18, you hear about stand up, you see it on TV on late night specials, but a peek at a comedy club is like, oh, that's where, that's cool. And
Yeah.
now it's just like, oh yeah, I have a phone, of course I know it's stand up, I've seen a million shows. It's like there's nothing, I get it, I could probably do that.
Well, I think what especially with crowd work, because I think crowd work used to be like this magic trick, and
Yeah.
people go, "Oh my god, how's he coming up with this on the spot? And how is it going to be so?" And I think now it's like if you see the same magic trick 50 freaking times, it's not as impressive. And I
Right.
saw someone post. It's funny because we were the post show banner we did last week, but I saw someone say like I've seen 3 different shows in person. This is a comic where the headliner, just a comic later in the lineup, went up and was like, "Hey, how long have you guys been dating?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, we already did that." And like the crowd, and it wasn't so much just like this guy wasn't watching the show and now it's obvious. It was that the crowd was just like over it. They were just like, "We don't need
Right.
any more crowd work." Like, this used to be so funny and cool. Like, oh my God, they're breaking the fourth wall. And now it just seems so mandatory and laborious.
Right.
And so
laborious, like to sit through and be an audience in.
yeah, or just like oh and it's one thing when it's like, there's a host feature headliner, but you imagine going to these shows in LA or New York when there's 8 or 9 comics on the bill
Yeah.
and they're all showcase shows and every single one are taping. Every single one doesn't want to burn material. So every single one is going to do half their set crowd work, hoping that they stumble on some magic and
So they
have
can
something
make
to
a
post
reel.
that they aren't
Yeah.
burning their act, So I
Yeah.
like the other thing I'll say is like I think this is like you're saying, like it seems like anyone can do it. It is like the natural extension of the like podcast. I think stand up does seem more accessible as far as like to actually be one. Like
Right.
it's not like I think when we started it was like I don't even know how you become
Right.
a comedian. You just kind of had to
Yeah. How
keep
do you get
showing
into
up
it? Yeah.
places until someone you just pick up. I did now you could really listen to like a billion different podcasts and take a class, it seems like a
Yeah.
pretty easy flight path in, but yeah, I don't think it's like the only counter argument for all that is like it absolutely works on social media. Like people consume it
Uh-huh.
and seem to like it, and it does seem to help get people to shows.
Yeah, it
So I
helps
don't
put
know.
butts in the seats, and it keeps stand up more in front of people's minds than
I think in a
if it
perfect
wasn't.
world, the way I would do it is like never post anything except for like if you're like Greg Warren or somebody or I don't know Brian Regan, or I saw Colin Quinn starting to post like his stuff, but like if you have like 8-9 specials under your belt that you've already done and you
Yeah.
have this huge library of shit that's like
Cut
high
that up.
quality video, like
Yeah.
I've got a lot of material that's old, but it's like I didn't film it all,
Right. Yeah.
but if you had all these video specials that you could just chop up and do and then just you're only using that stuff, that would be amazing. But this whole
Yeah.
thing of like filming every show and cutting up, this seems unsustainable, I guess is what I would say.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm backing you up, I guess. It makes it less fun for sure. And I know I've taken off, like I was on it for a while and I like stopped in August, and then I feel like then I feel like this thing where you're falling behind or whatever, and
Yeah.
then it's like this pressure to get back on it,
Yeah. To
So,
feed the algorithm and
yeah,
make sure everyone sees, your posts and stuff. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. All right. You
All right.
back me up. What do you need backup on?
Okay, well, it's gonna be a little less serious, but I have a financial tip. So, like, this is barely a topic. I don't even know.
It's all right.
Okay,
It's all right.
so if you go, a lot of times I go to the grocery store, or you go shopping at all, and I get very distracted. Either I'm on my phone, or like there's a sale, or like you could see something you don't need, like some like chocolate or candy at the grocery store, some fresh baked dessert. You're doing a lot of impulse buys, right? And you're spending more than you should be spending. So my idea is whenever you're going to do like errands and you're short on cash, go when you have to go to the bathroom. Right?
I
So
like
like
this.
I was at Whole
like
Foods.
this.
I was at Whole Foods the other day and I had to piss so bad, but I was like, Heidi was already like stressed out about something else. She's like, we just need these things. And normally when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, first of all, I
Good.
park and I immediately get on my phone and I scroll on my
Yep.
phone for like 10
In
minutes.
the parking lot for a
In
while.
the parking lot.
Yep.
Just because like that's like a safe space. Then I get distracted in the store and I'm looking around, but like I had to pee so bad. I was like, boom, park, go. I was like, I don't even have time to go to the bathroom in the grocery store. So I'm just like on the list. I'm like making sure it's like super and I was out of there so quick. And I only bought exactly what we needed. I didn't spend a penny more,
Yep.
all because I had to piss the whole time.
Oh, that's great. That's
Pretty
a great pro
genius.
tip. That's great. Yeah.
I mean, that's just more of like a life hack than a topic, but that's what I got. So there
Well,
you
I
go.
think it's a good idea. I think it's good. I think it's
All
solid. I think our listeners are very lucky.
It was worth hanging around for.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I think
Good.
that's
Oh
it.
man, we went longer on both than when we
I know, but that's all right.
we
Thank
spoil
you.
our listeners. Yeah.
I'm still plugging these shows in Bend. So go. September, I have to look at it every time, but that's okay. September 22nd, 23rd in Bend, at the Open Space Event Studios. Go get those tickets.
Go get those tickets at the Bend. I am at Sprecher Brewery the 16th, which is this Saturday in Glendale, Wisconsin. Tickets are on my socials. And then another one that I think I'm getting paid based on the numbers is the Great Lakes Distillery Show in Milwaukee. That's part of the that's part of the Milwaukee Comedy Festival. So that would just be great if you came, but it's not going to affect.
But
my-
you don't come. I take it
But
back.
that
Don't
will be a
come.
great show because
It won't
part of
benefit-
the Milwaukee
It won't
Comedy.
benefit me financially, so do not go to these shows.
Go to all the look up Milwaukee Comedy Festival and go to that. I don't know what year it's in, but that's always fun. The guys and gals that run it are friends of mine. They're great. So go to all those shows.
All right, go to those shows. Thank you everybody for listening.
To
The Cavalry.
the Cavalry.